So we are here today to talk about how to eat or make better choices when at the state fair. My name is Sarah Solly. I'm the Diabetes Program Coordinator at Parkland. And these are two of our experts in nutrition at Parkland, two of our clinic dietitians, Rachel and Melissa. So we have some questions we've already received. Thank you guys for submitting questions. During this broadcast, feel free to submit more questions. We'll be also taking live questions as well. But we'll start with the ones that we already have. So the first question here is, are occasional cheat days healthy? Should I be more restrictive of my diet for a couple of weeks leading up to a splurge meal?
Do you want to go ahead?
Sure, thanks. So I guess the main point is that we want to make sure what you're doing occasionally, maybe on a holiday or a birthday, is different than what you're doing every single day. So if you are going to a party or the state fair, then of course, splurging a little is not a big deal. But if you're doing that every day, then exactly, I don't think you couldn't. Then it's not that big of a deal.
I also think it's not good to call it a cheat day. Let's just say I'm going to go to the fair and I'm going to have one food item that may not be healthy, but just not considering it a cheat day because it's normal. We're all going to do it at some point. So yeah, it's life. Yeah. So just not saying it's a cheat day. This is my cheat day. Just I don't like the wording.
So you're getting kind of the more of the sense of portion control when you are choosing an item that you know is beyond what you should be eating for your diet.
Right. Okay. Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Great. So this question is just in regards to monitoring blood sugar. So just a basic, when do I need to check my blood sugar? So in regards to the state fair, would you have different recommendations than normal, or would it be kind of more of the same typical recommendations?
I think it should stay the same as the typical recommendations. You can check once before or after sleeping in the morning, and it's always good to check your blood sugar 2 hours after eating a meal. I know that, we may have that meal at the state fair, and you might think, my number's going to be very elevated. I don't want my doctor to know about the number, but I think it's really important that we have a clear understanding of our own numbers. We want to make sure that we're staying safe, so I think it's okay to check 2 hours afterwards, just so that way I know where my numbers are, and, just when reviewing with the doctor, it's good for the doctor to know as well.
Also, it's good to remember that just because you don't check your blood sugar doesn't mean it's not high. So just because we don't know the number doesn't mean that it's not already high. Knowing the number just helps us. Yeah. Next time, maybe if I want to have the funnel cake, maybe have a smaller portion of it instead of the entire thing.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, maybe even checking before going to the fair, just so that way I know where my numbers are.
So what numbers are we talking about? Like when we say a good number or a target number, what kind of number would you recommend?
We usually want our numbers to be between 70 and 120. So yeah, and maybe if we're at 180, we want to make sure that we're not overindulging when we go to the fair.
Mm-hmm. If you're checking your number after you eat, it's going to be a little bit higher naturally, just because you've already eaten and your body has some carbohydrates. So if it's a little higher, then don't worry. But yeah, 70 to 120 is a good guide.
Yeah.
And I know typically when we say before and after, not having that more than 50 points before a meal and 2 hours after, so that would be something to consider as well.
Perfect, yeah.
So the next question has to do about in case an emergency happens at the fair. So do I need an in case of emergency kit? And if I do, what should be included in that?
Do you mean like a glucose emergency, like if your blood sugar was
low?
What kind of
so if
emergency?
It's too low or too high, do I need to bring anything just in case?
I would say that you really wouldn't need to bring anything that you don't normally bring. So if you normally bring glucose tablets, if your blood sugar is getting low a lot, that might be a good idea. But and always having water is a good idea.
Yes.
Always having a bottle of water with you will help. But I don't think you need to bring anything different just because you're at the fair.
Yeah, and you could always bring your glucometer just to check.
Definitely.
If that's something that you do on a regular basis, why not?
Yeah.
And the glucose tablets, and again, we're going to be walking, so that should be helping me to lower my blood sugar numbers, and then we're going to be drinking our water as well. Yeah.
So another question here is just, how do I keep track of what I eat at the fair? Will the fair foods have nutritional information listed somewhere, or how do I have an idea of the carb intake of that? Of those foods?
I checked the website and they did not have the information on it.
Probably would scare us.
Yeah. I was looking through the website, and they really only offered the new foods that they'll be offering on at the fair. And they also showed us last year's winners. They had different categories of foods that were winners. So they didn't offer a complete list of foods, and I didn't find like a
Nutritional fact.
Yeah, nutrition fact label.
If you're eating a food that's packaged, say like a lemon ice or something like that, there's a good chance that there'll be a nutrition label on that, and that's a great way to measure carbs. We know that one serving of carbs is 15 grams, so we can do a little math there. But as far as the different vendors, like if you're getting a turkey leg or a funnel cake, there's a very low chance that there's going to be any kind of nutrition information on there.
Right. And just a very practical question, what should I do to plan ahead before going to the fair?
I think a great idea, and this would help with my blood sugar control, is to have our regular daily meals. If I'm going to the fair later on in the day, I still need to have my breakfast and my lunch, and perhaps I'm going to eat my dinner there. And that's important because we don't want our blood sugar to go low. So many people say, hey, I'm not gonna eat the whole day so that way I can indulge in my dinner at the park, right? So what's going to happen is I'm not going to eat, my blood sugar is going to go low, and I'm going to feel shaky, I'm going to start sweating, I'm not going to feel good, and that's very dangerous. It can lead us to going to the emergency room. So it's very important to have our meals. If we have our meal before going to the state fair, I'm going to feel full and not as hungry when I'm at the fair that I'm going to eat so much food.
Right. The food at the fair really shouldn't be a meal per se. It should be like a snack, a treat. Like I'm trying this. I'm not using this as my entire meal.
Right.
So eating lunch before you go is a great tip, because then you'll think to yourself, okay, I already had that meal. I already know that I'm good to go. I just want to try this funnel cake, so maybe I'll split it with a couple of friends.
Right. Oh, that's a good idea too. Yeah. Splitting that meal.
Sharing with the people you go with.
Yeah,
Definitely.
exactly.
It's kind of like when we talk about the holidays and things like that, like eating a salad before you leave, or eating something healthy with some fiber to kind of fill you up before you go.
Right, exactly.
Overindulge in something that might not be quite as healthy.
Yeah, and I know we can't really plan for it, but maybe thinking to find something that's a little healthier at the fair, maybe, picking the grilled item versus the fried item, or maybe finding a location that has the fruit cups instead of, getting I think it's a fried fruit nacho dish that they have. So it's cone, ice cream waffle cones with fruit and then whipped cream, and I think they have like a chocolate drizzle or something. So maybe going for the healthier version and just getting the plain fruit. So it's just thinking of ways to make it healthier.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And also thinking of, okay, I'm just going to taste this food, right? If I get this piece of deep fried cheesecake, I don't have to eat the entire piece.
Right.
I just want to have a couple bites so I can know what it tastes like.
Yeah.
And then I'm good to go.
Yeah.
And so that you don't eat the entire piece.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think Melissa made a really good point about kind of knowing what's there, because I know there's maps of the food, kind of where it is throughout the fair. So kind of having a game plan before you go, and looking and saying, where are those healthier options? What can I supplement, and picking just a few of my favorite of the fried options, and how can I supplement that with something that might be a little healthier.
Right.
That'll help you not go binge on everything that you see. If you have a plan in advance, then you're not like, oh, I want this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
You'll say, oh, I already know where those things are, so I'll kind of check it out, and maybe if I want to trade something, I can.
Yeah.
But then I know what my limits are, and I know my plan.
Right. I was actually still on this topic. I was looking or doing the research for this, and I noticed from years in the past, it seemed like the healthier items were in a building called the Tower, I guess. So be on the lookout for the Tower. I'm not positive it wasn't on the website, but just from prior posts in the past. So yeah, look for the Tower. I think there's apparently a healthy area there.
A healthy tower somewhere.
Yeah.
So look for the healthy tower.
Yeah, the healthy
Got
tower.
it on the map as a healthy tower.
It could be.
And this we've kind of talked about already with how to plan ahead, but what do I need to do to stay hydrated? So let's talk a little bit about the beverage options that are at the fair, and what would be the best choice for that.
That's a great question. Water.
Yeah.
Water is the number one key, right? So
Yeah.
if you're always drinking water, if you have a bottle of water with you, then you're not going to feel thirsty all the time. And you won't be tempted to have that soda, the lemonade, because that sugar really adds up way more than you think.
Yeah, exactly. And I was teaching a class this morning, and they told me that you could take in your own cooler.
Oh, that's nice.
I think they check it. Yeah, they check it to make sure that you're not bringing any alcoholic beverages, but you could bring in your own drinks. So yeah, you can bring in your own water just to save a couple of dollars as
Sure.
well. But yeah, bring in your water, and I would say maybe even avoiding the bringing in Gatorades or Powerades.
Right.
What
we
other
think
things
we need
besides
those.
water?
We think we need Gatorade and Powerade, but sometimes
Yeah.
we really don't.
Right.
Right.
What other things besides water would you? If I didn't like water, for example.
Maybe put some lemon in your water.
Yeah.
Or if you have some calorie-free, like Crystal Light powder, True Lemon
Yeah.
powder, which is really good. Those are good options.
Yeah, you could bring in your ice water. Those are like $1 at
Oh, yeah.
Target,
The
or
sugar-free
the
ones.
Clear American sugar-free,
Mhm.
beverages. But yeah, I would do the same, just spritzing in some lemon to give it that flavor.
And I think that's extremely important with something like the fair, because we're going somewhere that we know there's a lot of high carb
Right.
food options.
Right.
So we don't want to waste
Yeah.
our carbs on our beverages.
Exactly.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Especially on beverages that you have every day. You want to try
Right.
something that you've not tried before, right?
Right.
So why
Right.
why waste my sugar on some,
Right.
Coke?
Right, exactly, yeah.
Are there any big things that I should avoid?
Well,
I would think the major thing you should avoid is the mindset of, I'm going in here and it is a free for all. Like, I can do whatever I want today.
yeah.
You know,
Mhm,
go
I
in, like
agree.
you said, go in with a plan. Because if we don't give ourselves boundaries, then, oh my gosh, you will regret it at the end of the day because you'll feel awful.
Right.
But if you have some boundaries and go in there with a plan, you will feel excited and happy
Right.
at the end of the day.
Right. I was looking at that website, and there were just so many food items. I mean,
Overwhelming, yes.
yeah, there were two that came into mind. There was a bacon. I think it's like a fried bacon, but it's battered as well. So that one seemed pretty unhealthy. And then there was we were discussing
You don't
it
think
earlier.
that fried fat would be healthy?
What?
I don't.
Battered and fried bacon. Okay. And there was the funnel cake hamburger, which is a funnel cake with the burger, bacon, and cheese, like the burger patty. So that one seemed like it was probably maybe one of the unhealthier items at on the website. But again, it's just portion control, sharing it with someone else if I want to have a taste of it. I'm trying to think of other beverages.
Because the ones
we
you're
want to
mentioning
talk
are very
beverages.
high in carb, but also very high in fat, which
Right.
will have
Right.
heart health
Right.
implications as well.
Exactly. And if it's
yeah.
battered, we're going to have the seasonings, which is
Right.
also going to include the sodium.
Right.
So then that's going to, possibly bring up my blood pressure as well.
Right.
So not only are we getting high sugar, but we're getting fat and salt.
Right.
And calories, right?
Triple
So the
whammy.
weight.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to I'm going to pick these couple of things that I know
Right.
I really want to try and not lose my mind about being super restrictive today.
Right, yeah.
Because, I'm at the fair, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Mhm.
keeping your own health in mind, because you wouldn't want to go and eat a bunch of sodium or
Right.
or salt or fat or carbs
Right.
all at once. 'Cause
Right.
That's not good for you at all.
Yeah, and that's a good point as well, is you don't want to do it all at once. Let me
Right.
have a little bit here, and then we'll go look at the car show. And
Walk
then-
around.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then let me have a little bit here, and then we're gonna go check out the petting zoo or something. Yeah, so just little by little as well.
Right.
And this we kind of talked about, but should I snack before going to the fair?
For
And
sure.
then,
Mhm.
do you have any suggestions on
Yeah,
how to
it's
snack?
it's always good to get a protein and a carb, just so that way it makes me feel a little bit full. I know a lot of people say, hey, I'm gonna drink a glass of water, but that's not really gonna help us feel full for a long time period. So I think getting something, maybe having like a peanut butter sandwich before going to the fair, or maybe a string cheese with a couple of whole grain crackers. That might
Maybe
help
some
me.
grapes and cheese or
Yeah.
apples and peanut butter, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, but it's definitely a great idea, just so that way I'm not hungry immediately getting to the fair. It's like,
Exactly.
I gotta get one thing right now,
Exactly.
It's like,
That way you can kind of, make a plan when you get there and you're not automatically like, let me try this and this and this and this. For
yeah,
sure.
Where's the food?
yeah.
Exactly.
And this very much leads into the next question. So I think most people know it's important to have portion control, but we also know that the fair has a lot of yummy food. So how can you try to do portion control at the fair?
That's a good question. I think the problem with the fair food is not only that it's like deep fried fat, but also that it's like massive. So you have this
Right.
burger, right, that's 2 funnel cakes. and a burger patty and bacon and cheese.
Right.
That's a lot for anyone.
Right.
So it's a really good idea if you're going with people, like we said, to share with someone. Like say, hey, let's all try this. Let's split this 4 ways or something.
Right.
That way, the next thing that you want to try, you're hungry by that point. But having one thing by itself, just for yourself, is kind of a lot.
Right. I wonder if they have pictures of the actual dish on the board. Yeah, so maybe selecting one that maybe has it's like a small portion. I was again on the website, they had I think it was like a Asian dish, and it was 2 fried items as opposed to maybe like the sopapillas that has 6 items with it. So maybe by looking at the picture, I can choose the smaller
That's
item.
a good idea.
That might be something. But yeah, sharing with someone else. I don't know if you can save it. Like, let me eat some now and then later on. Nah.
No, don't walk around with a hamburger in your pocket.
Yeah, no, you're right. Never mind.
I don't think that would be good at the end of the day.
Never mind.
I get attacked by some dogs.
I mean, and other things.
All the heat. Yeah, never mind. We can't save it.
Dang it. But leaving it is okay. If you're
Right.
full, if you're eating something and you're full and you're done, leaving it on your plate is fine.
True.
Just
Not
because
feeling
you
like
spent
have to finish it.
right, just because you
Yeah.
spent money on something does not mean you have to eat the whole thing. You got the experience.
Yeah.
You tried it. It's so hard. That's a hard habit.
Yeah.
But you tried it. You had the experience. So I'm done.
know.
It's gonna end up in the trash anyway.
I know, but just thinking like I paid $20 for this.
Exactly.
It's hard to do, but
Yeah.
if we don't have to finish it, we can just let it go.
And I think again, if you're splitting it, then you're splitting the cost
Right.
as well, which makes it easier to
Yes.
kind of
Right.
have just a taste of something. And
Right. Yeah.
So what happens after the fair? How do I get back to my normal routine?
That's a good question.
I mean, if that's your dinner, okay, great, we're done for the day, but you just start back, you begin your routine again the next day.
Right.
If it's lunch, well, I'm going to go ahead and have my dinner just so my blood sugar doesn't go low.
Right.
But I don't think that there's something new you have to do. I think you just go back to your regular
Exactly.
daily routine. There's nothing special.
It's kind of the same concept as a holiday, right? So you
Yeah.
have Christmas dinner, you get to try all the things that your family makes all the time, but then the next day you don't keep eating Christmas dinner every single day. The
Right.
great thing about the fair is the fair's at the fair.
Right.
So it's not going to be with you at home the next day.
Yeah.
So just go back, just like you said, go back to what you were doing before and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, nothing
Don't
special.
overthink it. Do
Yes,
not overthink
exactly.
it. Just let it be a smooth transition right back into the next day.
Yeah.
And I think as Americans, we have the tendency to wait until Monday to start something different.
Exactly.
So, if you go to fair on Tuesday, you can get back in your normal routine the following day.
Exactly.
You don't have to wait till Monday. You don't have to make it a
Right.
splurge week.
Oh my gosh,
Right.
that's when we come to a problem, okay? Whenever we do the
Yeah.
splurge week, because then it turns into a splurge month, which then all
Yeah.
your habits are gone, right?
Yeah.
So just get right back into your routine.
Yeah.
Go work out the next day if you work out. Go drink your water and eat your breakfast like you normally would.
Yeah, exactly. And continue your medications as prescribed.
For sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
So I'm going to the fair. I plan on eating there, but I know I will feel guilty afterwards. Is this healthy?
I feel like we all would feel guilty, but I don't think that we should.
We don't really have to
It's
feel guilty about things that
one-
we eat, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of give
Like-
ourselves a little grace. Like
Right.
say, hey, you know what? I'm going to try this. It's the fair. It's going to be
Right.
fun. And then after that, I know I'm going to get back on this routine.
Right.
You can't enjoy something
Yeah.
really if you are looking forward to feeling guilty after you're done doing
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So really letting yourself say, okay, I'm like we said, set up boundaries.
Yeah.
Within these boundaries, I'm going to have fun, and then the next day, I'm going to get back
Just
into
go
my
back.
routine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We should not really associate guilt with the things that we eat, honestly.
Right.
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 It's a very good point.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is our last question, I believe. Are there any good or healthy foods at the fair?
Melissa talked about that.
Yeah.
The tower.
Just thinking about the tower. Go to the tower. There's healthy food there somewhere.
Hopefully there is a tower.
yeah. Oh no. So just doing the research, it turns out from what I had read, I didn't actually witness it, but there's salads available. There you can get the grilled corn. So maybe not.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, usually they
delicious.
add. Yeah, they do. They usually add the mayonnaise, the butter, the cream, the hot sauce. It's
That's
really
a real way to
good.
do
That's
it.
the real way.
But not the healthy way.
Right. So just to make it a little bit healthier, maybe we can ask without the mayonnaise and the not
The
ketchup,
cheese.
but the cheese, the butter, and it's grilled. So I mean,
Right.
that's the healthy way to do it. There is another fried corn dish, so getting the grilled one.
Right, not doing deep fried corn.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And then I saw that they had a dish with hummus, celery sticks, and carrot sticks.
That's a great snack.
So that would be a good one to
Yeah.
get, yeah. And again, getting our water. What else? Yeah, I think that it was a Greek salad that they had last year. But I think it's just maybe even trying to make it a little bit healthier. So, you know, if they have the desserts with the chocolate drizzle or the caramel drizzle or whipped cream, maybe asking without those items. If they happen to have fruit, like if maybe we can add some more fruit on top of the item, that might be a healthier way to do it. But yeah, just be on the lookout because I'm sure there's new things every year that we still don't know about. So we'll be able to discover it this year.
And anything that's not fried would probably be preferable. 'Cause the
Right,
majority of the
yes.
food is fried. So if
Right,
you see
right.
something that isn't fried, go for it.
Yeah.
So like your basics, right? Of I know if it's fried, it has more fat, right?
Yes.
I know if it has a lot of sauce, it's gonna have sodium or
Right.
salt, right? I know that if it's something that's super sweet, it's gonna have a
The
lot of
extra
carbs.
whipped cream, the extra
Exactly,
chocolate.
or like
Right.
cheesecake or things like that. You know, I know if I'm
Yeah,
choosing something
right.
like that, I know what's going to be in this. I may not know exactly how many carbs are in it,
Right.
but I know if I'm eating a piece of cheesecake versus some fruit, the cheesecake is probably going to have a lot more sugar
Yeah,
and fat.
that's true.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good way to
So
think of
having
it.
that basic kind of I have an idea of what I'm eating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this time with our experts and have fun at the fair.
Bye.
Bye. Have fun at the fair.